This is the true story of the drummer at Waterloo. It was June 1815, and 12-year-old Louis Delord was a drummer in Napoleon's army. He was so young that he had to sit on a specially made box in order to reach the drums. But when the British and Prussian armies attacked, there was nothing funny about it. The French were overwhelmed and retreated, leaving young Louis and his regiment surrounded. Along the way, they stopped at a small inn where Louis met a young woman named Marie. She was tending to the wounded soldiers who had come in off the street, and she took Louis under her wing, teaching him how to care for the sick and injured. Thousands had died, and many more would never be the same. For a moment, life felt normal, and he even forgot about the war raging just outside the walls. As the battle raged on, more and more men fell, including the officers. And with no officers to lead them, the soldiers panicked and fled, leaving poor little Louis behind. He wandered through the battlefield, past dead bodies and cannons, not knowing where his regiment had gone or if they were even alive. All around him, the landscape was being ripped apart by the guns and the screams of the dying. But above the noise, he heard something else, the haunting notes of a lone bugler playing a French folk song. And as if by magic, the sound led him to a group of surviving French soldiers who took him in and taught him how to play the bugle. For the next few days, he traveled with them, sleeping by the fire and eating whatever rations they could find. But as the army got smaller and smaller, he knew that if he didn't do something, he'd end up alone and without a country. So when he came across a group of villagers, he asked them for food and water in exchange for playing a concert for them. They had heard that some musicians were hiding there, and they wanted to take them back to their regiment. When they found Louis, they were about to arrest him, but Marie stepped in and convinced them that he was just a kid who didn't know any better. They agreed, and after his rousing performance, they gave him a warm meal and a place to sleep. But soon enough, he was on the road again, this time with a small group of musicians who were traveling to Paris to perform for the king. But one day, a group of soldiers arrived at the inn looking for stragglers. In the end, Louis survived the Battle of Waterloo, but he was just one of the lucky ones.